Hi there, it's Kevin again from the Figure Owners Club. I wanted to do a short video on roof alignment issues with the Fig. We get this again quite a lot at the club, people emailing us or contacting us with regard to the roof not quite closing correctly, or it closes and then they open it, then it doesn't close again correctly. So what I want to do today is just maybe give you some pointers as to what to look for and the reason that may be happening. There's a number of reasons and a number of adjustments you can make to the roof which may stop that from happening, so I'm going to run through those for you now. Okay, so there's a couple of things to look at here. As I said, the first thing to do is to make sure when you put the roof down, just doing it very gently with my hands here, that you've got good and even clearance on both of the rubber seals running around here, both sides of the car. So what you're looking for is this to come down and to clear the car. You can see pretty much that that's absolutely spot on. Okay, what you might find is as this comes down, it's catching on one of these sides. Now, there's two reasons for that. It's either going to be to do with the way the roof has been bolted to the rear window panel, okay, or the way the rear window panel has been bolted into the car. That's the only two things that can happen here. So it's going to be a case of elimination. What you need to do is look at the rear panel on the car, make sure everything looks as if it's aligned correctly. Okay, so what you're looking for here, when the roof is shut, okay, you're looking for this to be perfectly aligned here, and also making sure you've got no issues when you're putting the top boot down, whether it's catching at all. None of this should be catching. If it is, then obviously sometimes it's to do with the way this roof has been bolted, and you can see here that what we're looking for is this to be level. Okay, so you can see visually that looks pretty good. Same on the other side. But you know, a lot of this you can just visually inspect. This should be level, the other side should be level, there should be a gap running up here which is even. If it looks as if it's out, then obviously what's happened is this panel is slightly twisted, which can then twist the roof. Or this panel can be correct, but the way the roof has been bolted to the rear panel is incorrect, because there are, in here, there's basically 6 slots in this metal plate under here, okay, and this is studded, so these there is some adjustment on this plate. This plate bolts to here. Now if you look at my other video, there's another video about me changing over the rear panel, so on that video it's really detailed, and I'll show you how to get into the back of this area. So what you need to do, you need to take this off, unclip this, and then you can get to the studs here. But what you need to do, as I said, is visually inspect what's going on with the car when the roof's shut, and make sure everything looks evenly. You know, the gaps all look even. The other thing to point out, one of the issues that we do know about as well is, just leave that there, is what does if you look in the back here, there's another little thing going on here. There's a cable here, a little bracket, and that little bracket moves. You can see that moving, okay, and that, believe it or not, goes all the way up here, and that's it here, okay. And what that does is, if I just pull that down, you'll see it. I'm going to move it with my hand as well. You can see that moving. That's me putting the rear bolt, the rear top boot up and down. Now, the reason I'm showing you that is because sometimes what you find is, again, sometimes this can become loose or not correctly adjusted, and again that can lead to all sorts of issues. When this shuts down, it means that this doesn't bolt here, and it should do. That's part of the safety, the built-in safety that Nissan had to do in order to get the car approved for use on the road. Because obviously what you don't want is you don't want to be driving along and suddenly the roof pops up. So it's all a sort of a real sort of top-end security, physical security system that they've got here, a safety system if you like. So again, you know, check that out, make sure that all looks okay. Now you're doing that, make sure that's all adjusted. There is some adjustment here that you can do, so you may want to do that as well. But as I said, most of the time it's to do really with the adjustment here, and that's what's happened. This is either moved, or it was never, you know, maybe the roof has been changed and it was never, you know, it's never correctly aligned. It is quite fiddly. Even I've done 4 now, and every time I've done it, I've either changed the roof or changed the rear panel. You know, find out after a week, oh, the top boot sticks or something. Oh no, so you have to like readjust it again. So you know, sometimes these things happen, but the great thing about the Figaro is you can work on it, and it is pretty easy to work on. The other thing to just to draw to your attention as well is this top boot as well also has adjustment, because here there's adjustments here in this, so this capping comes off. You can see this bolt here, so again this whole boot can be adjusted. Yeah, so again, look at the gaps on the top boot, make sure that looks okay. All of this is adjustable. Small adjustments on the rear top boot, I must admit, but again, you know, this is again, it's a floating bracket, so check that out as well. So anyway, I hope that's helped. As I said, it's usually to do with the way it's been clamped to the top of the roof, and that's why it's not actually closing correctly. But hopefully once you've fiddled with it or tinkered with it, hopefully it will be good from there on. Okay, hope that's helped. All right, cheers, bye bye.